Hey everybody, it's Bill again, and sorry about the sound on the last video. It seems there was I know exactly what was happening. He was on my phone in the same room, and it was playing back, and I didn't realize that, so you're hearing him twice, and it just overran himself. But hopefully this one works out. Anyway, to catch back up, I'm here with Pierre Batiste. Pierre is a good friend of mine from 8 years ago. We just learned that. And he was in town on an internship. He was in the States, living in Charlotte. And we did some sailing together up at Lake Norman and a couple other places. And we became pretty good friends. And then, unfortunately, he had to go back to France. And then, life happened and got in the way. But he's done something pretty cool with himself since he left. So I'm going to let him tell the story. He's done a lot of great sailing, and he's done a lot of adventurous stuff. But give us the short. What happened once you got back to France?
So when I went back to France, I purchased my first boat, which was a plywood one, 29 feet long. So after that, I need to pay for the boat, so I found a job. and after that, I worked for 3 years and save some money. Sorry about that.
That's the beauty of life.
Like I said, I worked for 3 years saving money for a trip, and I met my wife. So we set sail together on May 2019.
Do you want to come say hi?
Yeah, say hi.
Come say hello.
So you can see all the family.
There we go.
Hi. So this is Océane, and this is Manon, my wife and my daughter.
Yep.
So at the beginning, we were only both of us, and we went north of Europe. So we cruised from France to England and Ireland, and then Scotland, and we went north again to Faroe Island, and then we turned back to Norway. Those countries are like not easy sailing because you have a lot of currents, but it's always short trip. So and the weather is bad as well. So you have to wait for sometimes for a long time to have clear weather.
Right.
But you can wait and then leave for a few days. So it's a nice trip to learn to sail, and it's beautiful landscape.
Oh, I'm sure it's got to be. But I've heard the currents
during the day you have all the season.
Yeah, cold in the day, or cold in the morning, and it warms up. Yep.
And because we were in need of money this time, we sold the heater on the boat before to leave, and then we went north, and it was so cold. And we were like, why did we sell the heater?
I get it.
Ultimately, we went south, so we passed in France again, and then we went to Spain and Portugal and Morocco.
Getting warmer. Yes. I like it.
Different country. And then we went to Canary Island and south again to Cabo Verde.
Okay.
And after the Cabo Verde, we went to Africa in Senegal. And from Senegal, we crossed into the Caribbean island.
Okay. So you were you got south down to the trade winds, and you were able to go downwind. And
Yep. So it was a long crossing, but it was an easy one.
Yeah. How many days?
It was 21 days.
On a 29-foot boat, just he and his wife, and they're still married. Which
this is how you know it's the good one.
Yeah, you definitely found one. So what happened when you got over to the West Indies? Where did you land? And
we landed in Guadeloupe, which is a French island.
Okay.
But then the COVID struck, so we had to find something to do. So it was either we came back in France, so we take the boats over again, but it was just reducing our trip.
Yep.
So we rather stay into the Caribbean and help with the people there, because my wife is a nurse. So we stopped in Martinique, and we were able to find a job.
Right.
And so we work at the hospital, and then later I was able to find a job in my field, which is industry.
How long did it take her to find a job, and then you direct after?
2 days.
2 days.
2 days, and 1 week for me.
Yeah. It's and that's really scary to be in a place that you've probably never been and you don't know what's going on with this pandemic. She's a nurse. You're not in the medical field, but you wanted to help. So you jumped right in and offered.
So, the first time I was cleaning the floor at the hospital, and I'm an engineer. So I was like, different job for me. But it was like not a lot of job during the day. So I was really lazy on this job. And so I have to have another job in hospital. So then I was pushing the bed, So I put the patient into the bed and moving them into the room from one place to another.
Yeah.
So I was really in contact with the patient, which was great for me to learn how to manage them and talk to them and be with someone sick, but taking care of them.
Right. So scary and so commendable. You guys that blows my mind. But
it was for 1 month for me only, but my mom worked on this for 3 years. Wow. 2 because of the baby after that. Yeah. And then I found another job into a small company to produce some industrial gas. Okay.
All right. So you were there for about 3 years.
Yeah.
And you had Oceane.
Yes.
What happened right after you guys had the baby?
Right after the baby, during my wife was pregnant, we changed the boat. We increased the size of the boat.
Yep.
Because the first one was too small to increase our capacity to sail further.
Right.
So we rather sold it and buy a new one.
Yep.
And then we had the baby at the hospital, and then she was 3 days old when we moved into the boat.
Moved onto the boat, 3 days old.
Yeah.
New baby, new boat. Hey, what the heck? Let's give it a try.
Well, we were living for almost 6 months on the boat.
Okay.
But the baby was brand new when we bring her to the boat.
Yeah.
And we had a great time, but I was still working at this time, so we were just sailing over the weekend from one place to another. And the thing is, with the boat, you do not go really far on a weekend. Yeah. So it was almost like a home, but not a boat.
Right.
And after that, I just quit my job, and we went south of the Indies.
Okay.
To Grenada.
Okay.
St. Lucia, Grenadine, and then Grenada.
Nice.
Which are small island, but close from each other. So it was a good way to learn how to sail with the baby.
Yeah.
So and that was a good way to learn how to sail my boat and to sail it with my baby.
Yeah.
And after this quick round into the south of the Caribbean, we went north again to Martinique and Guadeloupe, and we did we take some care about the boat. So we put the boat out of the water and work on the keel, had a water maker, stuff like that.
Right.
And since February, we are heading north to Canada.
So February of this year.
Yes.
Yep. And you basically made your way north through the Caribbean into the Bahamas.
Antigua, Saint Martin. After Saint Martin, we went in Turkey and Caicos Island.
Yep.
And Bahamas.
Yep.
And here we are in Charleston City.
Nice. Yeah, he started texting me, 3 or 4 weeks ago saying, we're coming through Charleston, we're coming through. Started sending me the list of items he's going to need to pick up when he gets here. In fact, we've got to go over and get some batteries tomorrow morning for his boat. But
this is a boat.
always. But no, this is great. They got into town a couple of days ago and they rested for the first day and then came over to the house last night for dinner and stayed the night and we got to talk some good stories and talk about some of the things we did in the past. We had some fun stories in that six month period. But so from here, you're going to go up the East Coast, bounce up through the Carolinas, in Virginia, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, and then on up from there, right?
Okay.
When do you think you're going to arrive in Montreal?
We want to be there something like mid-July.
Okay.
We have a berth for the boat in Quebec, so we already booked that.
Okay, nice.
So this is no matter of the boat. it's more like we want to go back in France for a few months to see the family and spend more time.
You're better. You've got a young baby. You've got it.
And after that, we will be again in Montreal, and we'll have to work, so we'll not have a vacation anymore. So we'll spend our time in France a bit. So mid-July may be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And then 3 years, you're guessing?
We've got a visa, and it's 3 years. So maximum will be 3 years. Minimum will be 1 or 2.
Yeah.
It depends how much money we can save.
I'm guessing in February he's going to change his plans and start heading south again. I know we had this discussion last night. Where do you want to eventually go when you go sail?
After that, we want to go in Polynesia, so the Pacific. So maybe going south again, crossing by the Panama Canal, Panama Canal, and then sail to the Pacific again. But who knows? Maybe in 2 years we'll change our mind and just sail back to France. Right. So it's open.
Yeah. That's amazing. It's a dream of mine to go to the French Polynesia. So I'm jealous of everything you're doing, but it's amazing. I love to hear the stories, and we keep seeing pictures on Facebook, and we're going to stay in touch. And if you guys have any questions for him later on, please let us know. And you can find him. He's a friend of mine on Facebook, Pierre Batiste, and keep in touch with him and follow these guys, because it's pretty cool that what they're doing and all the things that they've done up until now. And stay in touch, and when you headed back towards Charleston, probably next spring,
of course,
let me know. But all right, everybody, thanks for watching. Hopefully the take 2 came out okay, and send us a note. I enjoyed it, and I believe we're going to be going live again this weekend with my son, live from a VX1 regatta in Beaufort, South Carolina. So we'll see what happens there. And then next week, I believe I have an interview with the folks from Vaqueros to talk about their sailing products. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk soon. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.